All right. So I want to talk a little bit about new Unreal Engine 5.5, which in my book is an absolute game changer here. s- I'm gonna new Unreal Engine. So this is the video that was released by Unreal just to kind of demo everything in regard to 5.5. And as much as I like, the previous iterations of it, I think this is going to have some really great stuff. So,
Hey everyone, Unreal Engine.
hang on. I think I'm sharing the wrong screen here. One second.
Yeah, I can see it's just a little smaller,
I,
but
I
I can hear it as well.
Yeah, hang on a second. I'm sharing the wrong screen. We'll try this again. There it is. Okay, cool. Now you guys will be able to see it. So this is just the base, like Unreal video.
Hey everyone, Unreal Engine 5.5 is here. Check out some of the highlights. First up, let's take a look at how we're making Unreal Engine's in-editor animation authoring tools even more powerful and intuitive, so there's less need for you to round trip with DCC tools. Sequencer sees a whole bunch of updates, including a more controllable interface with better filtering and easier access to properties.
I think so. Like what I'm planning on doing here is just kind of going through, stopping and starting on this a little bit. But um, every iteration that we get with Unreal, um, they get better and better at this particular thing all in. And I think one of the things that we can all agree, just in terms of how we do it here at the Digital Media Institute, is a lot of the work we will end up doing in Maya, or we'll do motion capture, or even run things through motion builder in Autodesk's stuff like that. And it's a lot harder than it needs to be. And Unreal keeps getting better and better at being able to do all of your animation within the interface. And from my perspective, anything that they can do to make the animation portion of Unreal better uh, means we're getting closer and closer to it being an all-in-one program, which I think benefits everybody, honestly, because he just said, the round trip of having to literally go from one 3D package to another back into Unreal. And the less you can do with that, the better everything's going to be for everyone. Because when you're trying to final a project, if you're working with other artists and they don't have the same workflow as you necessarily, the more that you can keep inside of the main package, that's actually really really good for you. So this is a big
We've
upgrade.
also added non-destructive animation layers, complete with animatable weighting. Plus, you can now author animatable animation deformers inside Control Rig and easily apply them to characters in Sequencer with a single click. Squash and stretch, anyone?
That's huge too, by the way. Just anything that you can do again that keeps this stuff within the interface, I think is going to be huge. Um,
It's
and
like
it's
they
just
took Maya and put it together with it.
agreed. Yeah, like so, and I don't know if you guys can hear Juan, my student, talking to me, but basically he was saying that you've taken Maya and put it together with Unreal. We're getting there, honestly. There's so many tool sets that have made their way into Unreal now that your reasons for needing to live in Maya or Blender or whatnot are starting to, on almost a monthly basis. It's like one less thing that I need to do in Maya, and now I can keep doing this stuff in Unreal. And so that's great from an animation perspective. I'm a big fan of this.
With a single click. Squash and stretch, anyone? Released last year, MetaHuman Animator enables everyone to create stunning facial animations from an actor's performance. Now we've expanded that toolset so you can animate metahumans using just the audio of a performance, making it easier than ever to bring your metahumans to life.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second. Now, metahumans, they've been around for about a year, like you said. And one of the things that they're really getting to now, which this tool set that they're talking about, which is where you're feeding it an audio file, like a WAV file or an MP3 or what have you, that's got a distinct vocal track to it. That's actually really cool. Now, this is something you've been able to do this in other tool sets for a while. I've been able to do this in Maya for several years, actually, but not to the level like this. Like it's not to the level where you've got it fully textured, fully lit. This guy's got a beard on him and really nice texturing for his skin and whatnot. To be able to do this kind of stuff in real time with that level of texturing, it's great. It's huge, actually. So it's kind of cool to see that Unreal 5.5 is actually kind of catching up to some of the other tools that have been existing outside of Unreal for a while. So to be able to see this start to work, that's actually really cool. He's got a couple of other nice things to say.
The audio of a performance, making it easier than ever to bring your metahumans to life. Simply select the pre-recorded audio performance and hit process to generate full face animation on your metahuman. Nothing else is needed to create facial animation with accurate lip sync. It works with a variety of languages like French, bonjour, je m'appelle Darrell, and even non-verbal sounds. We've also included
I actually like that, the non-verbal sounds where you're clearing your throat or you grunt or something like that, and it does some of the the muscular flexing that you would need it to do. The biggest thing that I'll say about it is that we still live in the uncanny valley bit. Like if you like, and the one place that I always look when we're looking at you know lip sync, right, for animated characters is how real does it look? And there's always a little bit of funkiness in the lips. I don't care how long we've been doing this, the lips are still a little bit funky, and only because the human face has so many muscles that are all flexing at the same time. There are way more muscle groups in the face than really any other part of the body, and that's why when you and all we do when we communicate with people is to look at their facial expressions, and you can read very specifically whether somebody's happy, angry, mad, sad, just by without even a word coming out of their mouth, just by the way they have their facial muscles set, and just by the way they purse their lips or something like that. So, um, metahumans are getting there. There's no doubt about that. But like, I still always see stuff in the lips, and that's where, and quite frankly, when you're talking to somebody, you're either looking at their lips to hear what they're saying, or you're looking at their eyes. And I tend to be one that looks at people's mouths when they're talking, and so that's where you see it. And we've all been communicating with each other, since birth, right? So one of the things that you know best in your human experience is what people's faces look like. So, and again, I'm not trying to be overly critical. I'm like actually big thumbs up and blown away by what they're really doing here. But as with all things, there's still a little bit of work to do. And kind of in the same manner that I feel about AI, this gets you really close in the ballpark. This can help you. You drop in the audio file, get it set up properly. This can absolutely get you in the ballpark, and get that first 80% out of the way. But there's always going to have to be that secondary level of animation to tweak, the flex of the eyebrow, or a slight upturn in the corner of the mouth or something like that, to really kind of get to that next level of like real perfection on it, or convincing humanity. And We're not quite there yet, but we're
Included
definitely
a
making
batch processing
strides.
capability, which means you can create facial animations for multiple language localizations in just a few clicks. We just can't wait to see what you do with this new feature. On the animation gameplay front, we've added the mutable character customization system that generates dynamic skeletal meshes, materials, and textures at runtime while optimizing memory usage, keeping shader costs low, and reducing the draw call count. Choosers, which enable you to easily select animations for playback based on game context, moved to production ready in this release, and now work for nearly any type of asset.
This isn't really necessarily my format, the animation gameplay stuff. But I got to say, it looks pretty cool. I mean, anything that you can put in, that can help your tool sets in here, that's great. I'm going to keep moving forward.
We've invested significant
This is
effort
nice.
into improving rendering performance in UE 5.5, especially hardware ray tracing.
Okay, so one of the ongoing weak points of Unreal has been the render quality. Now, again, I don't mean to disparage it much, but it has come so far in the last year in terms of how much better the render quality looks. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've been doing this for 30 years or so. I would have killed for images that looked this good back when I started. I mean, this looks so like fantastic by comparison. But again, if you really look at a couple things here and there, it still feels slightly gamey, but at the same time, they're absolutely doing the right things to give us the options to make our renders look really, really good coming out of Unreal. So a big thumbs up on some of these changes.
Lumen can now run at 60 Hz on platforms with hardware support, while Path Tracer and Light Baking benefit too. Now production ready, Path Tracer also adds support for Linux as well as Sky Atmosphere, volumetric clouds, and more. Movie Render Graph.
This one I like. Okay, this movie render graph. It's not. It's kind of in the beta stage at the moment, but there's just a lot to it that are going to be really from a visual effects perspective, which is again, that's my bent. I really see this as being something just outstanding.
Receives many user requested enhancements and moves to beta. All asset types are now fully supported. This release also offers a sneak peek at an experimental new feature we're calling Megalights. Megalights enables you to add hundreds of dynamic shadow casting lights to your scenes without constraints.
Okay, that's going to be a game changer, honestly.
Same.
To have that many more lights in there, and just to be able to use them without it completely blowing out your render times or blowing out the frames per second that Unreal is generating is it's outstanding actually. So this is a game changer for it. Now, I think anyway. Now, some people may disagree with me altogether, but I think this is going to be really, really good. Come on. I have somehow killed. Awesome, awesome. Hang on. He will not let me hit play here. Try this again.
Light functions, media texture playback, and volumetric shadows. It's already being dubbed the nanite of lights. In this release, the in-camera VFX toolset moves to full production readiness, including support for SMPTE 2110, the camera calibration solver, and more.
Now, this right here is the future of what Unreal is really going to all be about. Let's speak. Going to be about when it comes to doing visual effects work. Anything that you can do that's all stage work. This is a big LED screen stage here, right? And that's where Unreal is headed. It's already production ready, but it gets better and better. And so that's something that I'm
the camera calibration solver, and more. The updated virtual scouting toolset is also now production ready, offering a powerful out-of-the-box experience using OpenXR HMDs, and new opportunities for customization via an extensive API. Meanwhile, the color grading panel now supports post-process volumes, cine cameras, and color correction region.
Okay. Again, what's been awesome is these changes that they've been making are so much on the visual effects front, right? The fact that you're going to be able to bake in some of the color correction stuff directly into the render, that's huge. I mean, that's something that you know we would typically have to do in something like Nuke or After Effects to really, or or DaVinci, what have you, right? To really make this thing work appropriately. But now, what it looks like you're going to be able to do, let's say you've shot something with a director of photography, and he has a lookup table that he or she likes for their camera. Maybe they like to shoot something that looks kind of blue, like ozone, right? And they get it all nicely blue. Well, they can give you that lookup table, and you should be able to plug this in now and get your backgrounds matching the same lookup table blue colorization that they wanted to shoot with. And now you've got your stuff that they shot as a foreground plane with your actors, and the stuff that you're using in Unreal as the what you're going to comp together. Now they match almost perfectly because they're sharing the same color grading table. And this is huge for them to be able to do this, I think. So
It's also been made available for general use in the Unreal Editor, not just with InDisplay. On the platform front, we've been investing in our support for mobile, with the aim of cementing Unreal Engine as the best engine for mobile and cross-platform AAA game development. You can expect increased...
that's all. That's great. That's really cool. It doesn't really interest me that much. Not to take anything away from that, but those were the things that I wanted to actually talk about, just in terms of what Unreal is doing from a visual effects perspective, because that's actually going to be huge for us in the film industry. So yeah, so I'm going to stop my share here. Anyway, so that's what I wanted to show you guys today, and going to talk about it. I think this is going to be great, actually. So I'm going to